Hello, guys. Uh, Welcome to another session for a session of VRIT Labs. So today, today's topic would be how to get promoted as a lead. So that is what the topic is all about. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I have people ask me, um, junior developers and consultants, or who just finished like 8 years, or who think they have done enough of consulting and designing and all the development, and they wanted to get into the leadership roles, and they have asked me. They have I have advised them and coached them, and I found it they found it useful. So I thought, why don't I make a video, and it could be helpful for people in the similar line, the similar phase of their life. All right, so I'm sharing my screen, as you could see. So I created a high level, about just two slides that will cover the basics of who is a lead and how to become a lead, and then what you have, what you can develop, what you have to develop in order to become a lead. So those are the things which I'm going to share right now. And by the way, I hope you guys are safe. And I know it's not a best time, and I have seen, I have heard, and people calling me for jobs, and there are a lot of people losing jobs in US, and are in the verge of losing jobs. So it's a constant pressure, and things are not great, as you could tell. And just be positive, and I'm very positive. After the election, things are going to turn around after November first week. I mean, once the whatever the election results are. However, I'm strongly believe that things are going to take a better shape. And number one, the vaccination is around the corner. The clinical trials and everything is going on well. And I think they will definitely release it right after the elections and for the public use. So, which will be a big, confidence booster to the economy, to the job growth, to the employment, growth, and then the job opportunities. As a result of, the economy is not that bad. If you look at this, right, for given all the situation that's going on, there are strong people, there are strong factors which is still keeping the economy afloat. So, which is a good thing. Yeah, hang in there. And if you have a job, be grateful. Like I said, again, if you have a job, be grateful, to what you have. Okay. And yeah, let's start. So first of all, how to get promoted as a lead. Okay. So first of all, what you should know about a lead. So who is a lead? So who is a lead? So the dictionary says a lead is somebody who leads a team, a group of team members, right? A group of consultants or junior developers who has a common goal. So what's your common goal in a company? When you work for a company, what's your common goal, right? The organizational goal. The very important thing is, as a lead is an advocate. Lead is an advocate, or a communicator of the company's visions and the goals to its team members. That's very important, right? And because he's the one who's talking to the upper management, the leadership team, the strategic team. So he gets his share of information on where the company is moving towards. So number one is he is the one who knows where the company is going, the organizational goals. Organizational goals. That's very important. This is mission and vision and everything. Number two, he doesn't work for himself, right? The lead is something whom not just manages, not just manages somebody's work, who helps the team members, who coaches the team members, right? Who really care about the team members. When I say care about the team members, how do you help him to be successful in his job? So you get your business analyst under you, or even within your team. So you are a team member and you have a bunch of other team members, and somebody comes with a better knowledge. Somebody might be good at something else like documentation. Somebody is really technical. Somebody is really good in putting this meeting together or communication. So you have varieties of people, right? They have different knowledge, different background. So how do you leverage, right? How do you not complain? How do you not be critical of others? But how do you leverage others? Number two, leverage, right? That's very important. How do you leverage others' talents? Today, the number one skill right, which is in high demand, is how you leverage others' skill, right? How do you make use of them? I mean, not to make use of them, that's a bad word. Exploiting, make use of them, manage them, that's a bad word, right? How do you leverage them? That's very important. Just think about company. GE, General Electrics, right? They have what, 200,000 employees, maybe more, right? The CEO, he leverages all these people in his, in the hierarchy. How it's possible, right? So he communicates, right? He communicates his goals. He communicates his vision. He communicates, uh, his vision, his mission, where the company wants to go. So to the team, and then that escalates. That cascades down to the person who is in the bottom, and he gets energized, right? He gets, energized. That's what the leader does. He energizes the people, right? So you leverage their talents, their skills, their strengths, right? Their competitiveness, plus you also boost them. You encourage them, right? You don't be critical of them. So everybody has a specific talent, and then you have to leverage them. Okay, that's a lead. So what's the difference between, we will cover some of those specific skills or more, skills in the as we talk, right? So difference between a technical lead, functional lead, and process lead. So if you work for a technical company, tech companies, or even you work for a system integrators, like I would call, offshore companies, like Indian offshore companies, they value technical lead more than anybody else. So technical lead is somebody who has advanced technical knowledge or who gained a lot of experience in the technical side of it. He's a technical lead. Okay, he leads the technical platform. He leads the technical solutions, right? He can make things understand. He could be a solution architect, right? So if there's a group of developers and they're looking for a technical help, they can reach out to him because that's a technical lead, right? So functional lead, as you know, functional lead is something who is in the functional side. Let's say in a technology supports a function, right? Technology by itself, it's a supplementary. Technology is a supplementary. What do you call it? It's a supplementary team or complementary team to a business, right? So function, the marketing functions, HR functions, right? So somebody who is really good in their functions, okay, right? The high level functions, how your treasury function should work, how your accounts payable department should work, right? That's a function. It's a functional lead. If you have any questions about how your certain things function, right? How your marketing department functions, how your CRM functions, so you can talk to them. So functional lead. That is process lead. Process lead is somebody who is very detailed in the process. So functional is high level, right? Process lead is somebody, let's say you talk about, let's say accounts payable functions or marketing functions. That's a marketing functions, right? That's a big umbrella. Under the marketing functions, you can have small processes, right? Tasks, customer service. Within the customer service, you can break this down to warranty service. Within the warranty service, you can break this down to multiple business processes. So somebody who leads those business processes are called process leads. Okay. Now, so these are varieties of functions a lead can play, but most important thing is when they say a lead, in my understanding, or the world understands that you lead a team of people, right? So that's what excites people about. You can call yourself lead if you don't have a team. What is the point, right? So if you're a technical lead and you are not responsible for their growth, you are not a lead. If you're a functional lead, you lead 10 people and you are not responsible for your team members' growth, you are not a lead. So very important thing I want to draw a difference is lead means you lead a team of people and you are responsible, right, accountable for not only their deliveries, also for their growth. You got that? For their professional development. That's called a lead. So opportunities are always limited. I understand that. But regardless how you care for your team members, their growth, their professional development, their improvement in a technical knowledge or problem solving, that is very, very important to become a lead. So what are the fundamental skills required to become a lead? If you say fundamental skills, I mean, we covered a lot of them in the first, in the previous 5-10 minutes. Like I said, the fundamental skills are you have to be very aligned with the organization. If you're just looking for a 9-to-5 job, great. But you are a kind of person who wants to, hey, give me your work, I will do it. Okay, don't bother, give me your work, I'll finish it, I'll give it to you. You cannot be a lead, right? So lead, like I said, is somebody who embraces others, who encourages others, who leverage other skills. You can take the work, and if you have the ability to distribute the work to others, right, and help others to do that work, right, that way the other people can learn, right, then you are a lead, you are naturally lead. So that's a fundamental skill that's required. You should be a people's person, right? You should be very empathetic of others, your team members. So if, again, I repeat this, if you are somebody, who wants to learn a lot of technical stuff, and then who wants to advance your technical knowledge, and you want to be that solution architect, you want to be able to just do the job by yourself, you cannot be a lead. Rather, if somebody, your business calling you, hey, I need a help, Steve, can you come up? When you go, right, you probably take somebody else with you, whom you think who's more knowledgeable than you, whom you think could benefit from that meeting, right? That's a small difference, see? If you just go by yourself, you take all the meeting inputs and then come and do it yourself and deliver it, you cannot be a lead, right? You think about this. A company is like 50,000 employees, 100,000 employees. So they all work together. It's a network, right? The CEO of the company, right? He's patching all this, the team building. He's doing all the network, right? He's make sure everybody works with everybody, right? The small part of it, something you should carry it. I want to be able to work with everybody. Again, I keep saying this. You have to be able to work with your team members, everybody, right? You don't have to do the job. If you can have somebody from your team members do it for you, the way he learns, right? So you are a natural lead. You are a leader. So that's a fundamental skills required, right? Number two, I mean, people, you get an opportunity to coach, right? People make mistakes, but you get an opportunity to coach somebody, right? That's very important to become a lead. Lead is a coach, right? A leader is a coach who is responsible for others' growth. So you watch NBAs, NFLs, who is the lead? You never see him, you coach, you never see him on the TV, very rarely. But he is a guy, right? He's a gentleman behind this team's performance, right? And he watches everybody. He gives feedback to each and individual person, right? So that's a coach. You think of when you think about lead or coach, think about the coach in NFL or NBA or any sports team, right? He's a coach. So he encourages others. He works on individuals, people's strengths and weakness, and then he works how he can leverage to the company's benefit, right? Great. So those two things are fundamental skills required to become a lead. And then you can also add, let's talk. So yeah, another thing is, you don't be critical of others, right? When somebody make a mistake, yeah, of course people make a mistake. I make a mistake, everybody makes a mistake, right? So how you help learn from the mistakes, right? That's very important. So you also have to think about how you can help, right, your team and yourself learn from the mistakes. And another thing was, when people, let's say in your team, right, the leads do not take credit, right? They don't take credit right away or first, right? If something, if you get a good remarks, or if you successful in a project that your team delivered, they don't take credit, right? They stay on the back. They let the team take the credit, right? On the other hand, if there's a mistake, right, something happens, a team failed to deliver or they made a mistake, your lead takes accountability, right? He goes in first. So that's another thing, right? When a success happens, when the sweet thing happens, you don't take the credit. On the other hand, if as a failure, or that is a P2 ticket, or that is something your team missed in configuration or development or testing, your lead takes accountability, right? Responsibility, because the team did not validate your work, right? So that's what it is. He cannot simply put you on a spot, right? He cannot put somebody on a spot and say, this is not my responsibility. He didn't do it, right? So that's why he's paid for. So that's what the team leader's job is. So when you want to become a lead, you have to think about all this, right? So you have to grow in that direction. All right. So when is the right time to become a lead? There is none, right? I've seen people just joining as a lead. I've seen people, in US, they come out of the college, they join as a lead, and they do really well. And why? Because they know how to work with people, right? That's very important. And then a company can teach you everything that is required, right, for the job. So you, as long as you can adapt, as long as you could take on the role, as long as you're prepared, as long as you are willing to learn, you can, because the rest is company will invest on your development, right? I mean, most other companies, they do. They don't hire you, and they don't hire you just to throw you away, right? Every company hires you looking for long term. They want to build a long term relationship with you. They want your long term commitment, right? Long term growth. So hiring and firing, it's a difficult process. It is not easy. It's very expensive in a company. So they rather give an opportunity, right, to learn from your mistakes and grow. So the attitude, right, that's very important. So I have seen people with a good attitude, willing to learn, they become a lead right away. And you don't have to be, technically strong. I have to put like 10 years of data migration, cutover, and development and technical architecture, then become a lead. No, that's completely wrong, right? You can become a lead as long as you learn how to leverage your team, how to help your team, how to be the person, the forefront, right, of your team. All right. Would my MBA or other advanced degrees help me to become a lead? I don't think so. I have seen a lot of MBAs do nothing, right? And any advanced degrees, of course not. So what's more important? Like I said, more than your degree, right? You can be out of college, out of your, first class MBA from a top school, and you probably have not learned anything from the textbooks. Leadership skills are not learned from textbooks. They are learned from how you work with people. So you get an opportunity to work in your MBA schools, yeah, of course. That's when US, right? The MBA schools, they focus on teamwork from day one, right? They don't teach you. I mean, they don't teach you a lot. They give you textbooks, they give you assignments, and they form a team. You go and work together. Each lectures are like this. Each courses are like that. Okay, I went to MBA school in US, so I know this. They teach you those type of assignments, teach you leadership skills, how you can work together in a team, how do you communicate, how do you take a responsibility, how do you share the work, right? How you let somebody present on behalf of you, or how do you you present on behalf of somebody, right? How do you leverage, how do you share the success? So those are all the things they teach you in MBA in US. I do not know about other countries. Those people, even then, right, in those situations, there are people who doesn't like being in a team, and they said, you know what, just email me this, my share of work, I will do it, right? So they cannot be a lead, right? So that's very important. So MBA degrees doesn't make you a lead, or any advanced degrees would not make you a lead. So you have to leverage others. You have to have the natural tendency plus abilities to leverage others. When I say leverage, Google it. That is beautiful, beautiful meaning for leverage. It's not exploiting. Excuse me. It is not taking people for granted. Leverage is, make use of their strengths and weakness too, right? Plus, in order to align with the organizational goals, right? Leaders are not born; they could be made. I think it's a myth, okay, or it's a mix. They could be made. They're not born, right? A lot of things that change your thinking process when you grow, right? They come out and you come a long way, right? You meet with lots of people, incidents and events, and then you go through, several life-changing events in your life that could change you, right? I've seen, when I was in school, people, there was a couple of guys, they were backbenchers, really, really not focusing on their schools, and they were really getting low grades. All of a sudden, something changed when there's an event that something happened in their family. Something changed. He became a super, topper all of a sudden, right? And things could happen. So you don't have to be born. You could be made, right? As long as you're willing to learn, as long as you're willing to give up, let it go, right? Hey, I'm not that type of person. I don't like to deal with people. I don't like, to take some advice from others. Great, but don't think that you will continue like this. You can change. You will change, right? It's all about, where you are, who you are, and what you are, and it defines you, right? So you don't have to be who you are as you are born, right? You could change, and it is possible. Similarly, you could learn leadership skills and you can change, right? So difference between a manager and leader. So this is probably you already know. A manager, not necessarily a leader, right? So leader is a fancy term, right? Managers are not. Manager is somebody who manages your work, right? He has 10 people under him. He's responsible for what? To manage your work, not you, right? He's not responsible for your career growth. He's not responsible for your, um, you know, um, what's a better word? For improving your, professional, focusing on your professional development. Your manager is somebody who just manages work. In lots of other companies, in other countries, right? Manager means, they have like factory managers, like in a factory system, right? It's a manager. He has 100 people working under him in assembly line, right? They all know what to do. He doesn't have to go and teach them, tell them, there's no career growth there, right? You 9 to 5 people do the same job for 30, 40 years until they have energy to do, right? So factory managers. So manager is somebody who manages the work and delivery, that's all. He's not responsible for your growth. On the other hand, leader is somebody who coaches you, right? Who mentors you, who pushes you, who expects more than from you. When as a leader, think about the coach in NBA or NFL games, right? They push you, right? They push you to reach your limits. They push you so beyond your limits. Reach your limits. They push you to do better. They push you to perform well, right? To take right decisions and help you to learn from mistakes and help you correct you, right? And then they tell he is a leader, is the one who communicates, right? What the company thinks, what the company wants from you, what the company wants from everybody, right? Including him. So that's a leader. All right. Alrighty. So how can I become a lead? So now we saw who is a lead, right? And then how can I become lead? Some of these things I already explained to you. I probably will be repeat the same thing again and again. That's fine, as long as it gets in your mind. If you like the video, if you watch it again and again, hopefully it helps you to have some of these ideas sink into your brain, sink into your mind. So, more and more you think about it, you will naturally become a lead. More and more think about it, that converts you, right? Your actions. Okay, so how can I become a lead? So you have to constantly help your team and show care for their growth and development. We discussed this, right? So you have to help your team. You have to show care. You have to show care, right? You got to really show care for their growth and development, right? How do you do this? Help them. If they are stuck somewhere, help them with the technical issues, or reach out to people on behalf of him or her, and then see what's going on, and if he or she needs any help, right? And if she's like kind of, she has a weakness in talking to people, you step in and either help him, help her, or you be there to take the conversation. So those type of things, okay? And another thing is, when people, there's something called, this is a very important topic, strength and weakness, right? And you probably know SWOT analysis, right? A person has you can have them do a SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. In organizations, in a really good organizations, I'm not talking about poorly managed companies. In a good companies, they actually leverage your strength, also a weakness. Okay. So think about this. Strengths, yes. Whatever strength, you are good in communication. So you're good in documentation. You are good in, sharing knowledge with others. You are good in listening. You are good in, identifying industry patterns. Those type of things. Great. So you can focus on this, right? This is your strength. Yeah, I can make use of it, right? Now, weakness. So you don't have to work on a weakness. I have seen companies, oh, this is a weakness, you have to improve. No, you don't have to improve a weakness. So if somebody is not a good in documentation, yes, he can improve, right? But the company will focus on your strengthness first, okay? So weakness, if you want to improve, yes, you can, right? But you can also just focus on your strengthness, right? Because it's given to you, right? You have a natural talent that's given to you. You can use that. Hey, because I have some weakness, don't worry about the weakness. Don't worry too much about the weakness, right? We are who you are, right? We are who we are, right? Strengthness is something that you have natural abilities. Focus on this. You have to focus on somebody's natural abilities, their strength. People have weakness, they can do, if they're willing to, of course they can, right? Eventually they can. But if you think about this, all the star players, right? The big leaders or celebrities or, anybody that everyone has a weakness. Nobody's perfect. You take a Donald Trump, right? And you watch his videos and interviews. You tell me, right? So he has a strength. What is his strength? That's how he became a president of US. And he also has a lot of weakness, and everybody knows. But does he care? He doesn't care, right? Because he focuses on his strengthness, right? So if you talk about anybody who was there's something called star principle, right? If you talk about anybody who was celebrity that they all focus just on their strength, right? If you keep worrying about a weakness, you just keep worrying about weakness. You work on your weakness, you improve a weakness, but that doesn't matter. So the natural abilities are your strength that is given to you, and you have to focus on this. Okay. Similarly, you have to focus on your team's strengthness. Okay. Don't focus on their weakness. Okay. You should use words or actions to boost your team. And sorry, that's a spelling mistake. And well, that's a spelling mistake. I should fix it. Enthusiast. How do you be an enthusiast, right? So your words and actions, like very positive, right? You have to boost your team and, be plain. Don't go to work with any preoccupations or any reservations, right? Oh, that guy, I don't like this guy. I don't like his face. That girl, I don't like the way she dresses. Don't have any preoccupations or pre-reservations, right? So your actions, your words, you should boost the team and energize the team, okay? And how do you do this? You should start appreciating their work, no matter how simple they are, right? Like I said, when you appreciate others, and if you think about this, people come to work not for, most of the people, yes, they come to money, they come for money. But the Maslow's theory of hierarchical needs, right? X theory, Y theory, I believe. So Y theory says more than money, people need attention, status, their ego, right? They all have to be satisfied. Okay, so you have to start appreciating their work, no matter how simple they are. That's how they can improve, right? You can be critical. You can be critical, but those managers, I have seen managers who are always critical of others. They always insult people, right? They always focus on their weakness. Oh, you never do this. I know what you're not focusing on this. You never knew how to do this. They never go anywhere. Okay, so those managers do not go anywhere. So you really have to focus on the weakness. You can, yes, oh, this is great. Next time do this. Or why don't you take this and try to do this? If you need any help, I'll help you. Okay. Those are your actions or words. Don't get the emotions get in your way. So remember, you're paid not for your emotions, but how you help the company with your skills. Like I said, when you go to work, right? Leave your emotions outside the campus, outside the work, outside the gate. Don't carry your emotions. Okay. When you walk into a company, when you wear the badge, the modern companies, they let you wear the badge. It's not because of identification. Why people want to identify, right? You're going to elevator and there are a bunch of people with you and you wear a badge. And how does it matter? But people would know your name now, right? Oh, he is Steve. How does it matter? right? The modern company, they let you wear a badge, right? Because you should remember that when you come into company, when you wear the badge, right? Right? You work for this company. When I say you work for this company, you work for the company's goals, the policies, right? The regulations, their vision, their mission. That's what it means. So when you wear the badge, when you wear the name tag or whatever it is, you are that person, right? The part of that 50,000 people, 100,000 people who is working towards the organizational goals, the company goals, right? That's very important. So don't bring your emotions, leave your emotions outside. You are not paid for your emotions. You are not paid for your opinions. You are not paid for your personal um, preferences, right? You are paid how you help the company with your skills. Okay, these are the things you should showcase to your team. Okay, when you become plain and you work for the you demonstrate or display your actions that you work for the company and you are aligned with your corporation goals, organization goals. That's one key skill which will make you lead as well, right? Always be a coach or a mentor and communicate your company goals and visions by your actions. So the same thing. So be a coach or a mentor and communicate your company goals and visions by your action to the team. Okay. So the people who grew up in the company, right, really fast in the company. If you talk to them, you talk to them like you're talking to the company. They talk about, they're very aligned personally. They're very aligned. They're close to the heart, right? They very aligned to the company goals, visions, what the company expect them to do, what the company expects them to behave, do things, run a project, right? How they can leverage others. Everything is the company does. You talk to your CEO or a CTO or a CFO in a company, you will feel that, right? They are good communicators of the company goals. So that's very important. So take a back seat and help your team members and junior developers to learn. I think I've been telling this all the time, right? Yeah, take a back seat. If you could do the job. I have seen managers, right? They assign work to somebody, to the team members, and without giving time, right? They will just do themselves. That's not a manager, right? Then you do your job. Then why you hire me, right? So these managers will never go anywhere, right? They're technical managers. They're technical leaders, right? A leader, if he's a leader, right, he will not do the job by himself. He gives a work, right? If he cannot do it, he will help you do it. He will say, "Come, I'll show you. I'll do this. Okay, work with this person." Okay, he will at least teach you or guide you how to do this. Okay, even if he is capable of doing this, if he's doing it, he will take you inside. He will take you with you and teach you how to do this so that you will do this next time by yourself. So another key skill is learn some professional development and improve your communication. Very important. Okay, professional development. So the professional development, when I say professional development, you're looking at communication, right? And then how you talk to people, your body language, right? And then how not to cut people. When in a meeting, I've seen people cutting others. Let's say when I ask question to somebody, when I'm somebody that person is answering, I've seen somebody else, just started talking. They just start talking, right? That's all not professional. It's not ethics, right? It's not etiquette. So you have to learn how to, um, you know, how to behave like a professional in a team, right? A cultured professional. And the part of this come from the most part of this come from communication. Okay, communication you can learn. It's easy. It's easy. It's simple and it's free, right? I've one of the my guy was interviewed, and a guy called from Indian offshore company, and he asked him, "Hey, can you something about you? Can you tell me something about yourself?" And when I heard this, and how can they say something about yourself? What exactly you want to know? Something? What do you mean something, right? So he has sent a resume, and you saw the resume, and you should give you a, "Hey, this is so and so person calling from so and so company, and is it a good time to talk to you? I got a resume, and we can set up some time if you're not free. If you're free, we can discuss now. And I see that you have some this type of skills. You worked on this. You have experience. Can you share me your professional experience?" how did you start and what you do now, how, why are you continuing in this, and what are the challenges you faced, right? And what are the, big projects you did, and why don't you tell me your experience, in 10 minutes. That's why you say, the guy called him and said, can you tell me something about yourself? Who wants to work for this guy, right? Obviously, right? Nobody wants to work for this guy. So the communication is very important. You can tell, you can sell. Number one, you cannot tell, you cannot sell, right? In NASA, people always tell me NASA is full of, NASA's engineers are full of Indians and Chinese. That's nonsense. Okay, that's not true. So there are a lot of Chinese and Indian scientists, of course, even Russian scientists, right? They are great technical people, but when it comes to presentation, they cannot present a simple thing, right? So that's very important. So you can tell, you can sell. So work on your communication. It's very important. And also have someone from your organization as a role model and closely follow or observe what they do day to day to reach the upper levels. That's very important. You have to have a role model, right? You don't have to go to the store and buy a role model, right? It is not expensive. It is not that. It is very. It is. I mean, it is not. It. I'm sorry. It is free, right? You can find somebody from your company, your manager, your lead, right? Somebody from your director level, right? You can find them as a role model and follow them. Not say follow them. Observe them closely and follow their actions. Follow their style of work, style of behavior, and how they put their meeting together, how they talk to people, how they listen, how they um, how they show empathy to people, right? So those are the things you should learn from them, and you can find your role model that works for you. Your role model should be somebody who is successful, right? You don't take a role model who is your team member. Maybe yes, I mean you can always learn from anybody pretty much, but you wanted to go up as a lead, you should do this. You should find a role model. Now again, that's I think we are pretty close. We're going to finish soon. Lead is somebody who takes care of the team. Okay, the lead is it's not a designation, it's a role. Okay, don't get confused. So designation is different, yeah, role is different. Anybody could be a vice president, right? Today in the US, if you go to the bank, they made like a couple of years ago, they made all the managers as vice presidents, right? They manage, all the banks. If you go to banks, if you join a bank as a manager, that's not a manager role. You're a vice president, right? Your designation, that person leaves the bank and works for some other company, you'll become a manager, right? You'll be a manager or maybe less, right? We don't know. So the designation is different from the role you play, right? Lead is always, leader role. Okay, you could be director, you could be vice president, you could be a president, you could be a CEO of the company. You have to be a lead, first of all, right? So the lead comes a long way. When you say lead, when you are able to lead a small team, you are lead, and then you are able to manage in a bigger team, you become a manager, stream lead. When you have capabilities, and you can manage, let's say more than 20 people or 30 people, you can become a director, and so on. If you can manage, let's say 3,000 people, 4,000 people, you can become a CIO or CEO, right? That's important. All right, sounds good. So that comes to end of the presentation, and thank you for watching. And like I said, best of luck, and hope this video is helpful. And like I said, anything you want to do, be serious about it, okay? And keep thinking about it, right? Whatever you learn from today, whatever you watch from here today, if you have taken notes, and what's your takeaway? You focus on your takeaways, right? I mean, obviously there are a lot of books and great videos and content available that you can watch, and you can take some notes and improve on this. But very important thing is sink into this. Keep thinking about this, right? Everything that you learn about becoming a lead, that's very important. It will sink in your mind. So when you hold it in your mind, it will happen, right? Very important. When you hold it in your mind, you will see it. Your body will convert, right? Everything will happen. Your actions will change. Your behavior will change. It will move towards you, and it's given to you. All right, thank you. Again, best of luck, and don't forget to subscribe and also post comments and questions if you have. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you next time in another good video. Talk to you. Thank you. Bye.